What is up, guys? Munash here, and today I've got a bit of a more interesting alliance war because this is during the off season. We just finished season 15 and I decided to play around with suicides for a bit. So for this one I'm going in with Quake, Stealth Spidey and Warlock. And it's been a while since I last used suicides, been about a year, and back then I only had 3 rank 5s, so my roster has grown quite a lot since then. I still think most of my top champs aren't the most suicide friendly, but I do have a few good options now and I kind of just want to see how they do. So during the off season we tend to do different paths and just practice and play around and get a bit more exposure. So first up we have Nick Fury with Enhanced Special 1 and Power Focus 1 on path 5. So yeah, for this one I'm going in with Quake as I usually would. And you see by the time I'm done bleeding, I'm at 91% health. Which isn't too bad because I do have 2 points in Coagulate right now because I'm trying to minimize the amount of damage I take for each fight, especially for champs like Quake because I tend to use her a lot in Alliance War. And now he's in Assassin's range, and then all of a sudden my game lags and he manages to get a heavy on me. I'm not sure if throwing the heavy made the game lag or the heavy was thrown just as the game lagged, but either way it just had to crit for about 20k and now I'm down to 21%, which is pretty annoying because you don't like to use items during the off season, so Quake is basically out for the rest of the war. So now you see I'm actually going to do the rest of the fights with Warlock. Okay, and now I've got Venom with the Special 2 bias and Power Focus 2. So now I'm going to go in with Warlock. And the Venom does have suicides, which does make the fight a lot easier because there's recoil at play. And with Warlock I can just heal block him and then he'll just carry on to get poisoned without actually getting any health. So now all I just have to do is bait his Special 1. It's pretty straightforward. I do decide to throw my Special 2 there. And yeah, I'd say Warlock is a pretty good champ with suicides just because it increases his damage by quite a bit. So yeah, there we go. That's section 1 done for me. And now we're going to move on to section 2. And the first fight we have is Mr. Sinister with Biohazard. And they do have the Siphon defense tactic. So I will be taking a little bit more block damage. Although this shouldn't be too bad of a fight using Warlock because he's a pretty good counter for Mr. Sinister. Because he's pretty much going to be heal blocked for most of the fight once you get those infections up. And also I can bleed him because Warlock is bleed immune, so I don't have to worry about him reflecting bleed damage with his Special 1. Here's a cool trick you can use here, where basically when you throw the special 2 and the opponent is against the corner, you can actually chain your heavy attack to the special 2 and it will always land. So that's a neat little trick you can use to squeeze in a bit of extra damage. Warlock's heavy can do some very nice damage, especially when it crits. I've seen it do about 25k without suicides, and also that bleed is pretty decent as well. What I also like about the infections is every time the opponent regenerates, they also lose a little bit of power. They'll regenerate through willpower, and they'll also be draining power, which means I can also chain the heavy attack there. And now we got Thor Ragnarok with the best defense and backup recovery. So again, I'm gonna go in with Warlock. And for this fight, I just want to make sure that A, I don't try to intercept him, because then he can auto block me. And B, I just manage his power effectively so he doesn't go to special 3 when he gets those 20 charges. And Warlock's heavy attack is very nice, got very nice cadence, good reach. You can also chain it in the corner, though he does have the resist, stand your ground mastery. So you can see that he's trying to gain power, but because he's also regenerating, his power is actually not even going up anymore. So here what I'm doing is I want to get to 2 infections before I throw my special 3. Because he does regenerate based on how many infections you have. Okay, and there I did make a mistake, I got clipped. And also the nice cool thing about Warlock's armor buff is that whenever it's active, a special attack cannot crit against him. So that does make him a little bit more tanky. Okay, he's actually at 10% health now, so I'm not going to get the damage boost because I want to actually kill him. So just before he dies, that 2%, 1%, I gain 9% health and he goes down. And now for the last fight, I've got a bit of a stacked Warlock because he is going to be noded from the left. So on top of limited immunity and buffet, he's also going to have an additional 15% buffet and recovery. So for this fight, I decided I'm going to use tech boosts. Because I don't really use these boosts that often, so it's always fun when I actually get a chance to. And I want to see how much damage Warlock Special 2 can do. And how much power he can gain against a 200k health opponent. So buffet keeps on taking my armor buff. That's not really a big issue. What I just really want to make sure is that I get that infection up so he can stop regenerating altogether. And I throw my own special too, and unfortunately this one didn't actually crit like at all, so the damage was just not good. And you see here, when Warlock has an infection on you and he throws a special 1, it will place a shock debuff on you. So now here I'm just want to bait his heavy attack so he doesn't throw the special 1, because I actually want to bait his special 2 rather, because A, it's easier to evade, and B, I don't have to worry about getting shocked. But you see, once we got those initial infections up, he could no longer gain any health, and that's what made managing the fight a lot easier. Now this one did crit, and I got just about a bar of power, which I think is pretty good. There, that fight done in about 90 seconds, although he did have recoil, which helped. That's actually the last fight I did in this war. So yeah, that's going to be me for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this Warlock war. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.